Check. Welcome back to our Math 171 video series. In this set of videos, we'll be looking at various theorems of polynomials. Our first theorem will be Descartes' Rule of Signs. This problem asks us to determine the possible positive real roots, negative real roots, and imaginary roots for the polynomial we've given you, 2x to the third minus 9x squared plus 12x minus 9. To find the possible number of positive real roots, we'll start by looking at how many times the coefficients change sign from positive to negative. In the polynomial I've given you here, we can see the 2x to the third starts out as positive, but then the negative 9x squared is negative. Then the 12x is positive, and then the negative 9 is negative. So examining the signs, we have a positive to negative change, a negative to positive change, and another positive to negative change, meaning that this polynomial has 3 sign changes. This means it is possible for us to have 3 positive real roots. However, some of these roots could be imaginary also. Remember that imaginary roots tend to come in pairs if you start with a real polynomial. Because our 2x to the third minus 9x squared plus 12x minus 9 is a real polynomial, that means that if we have any imaginary roots, we would have to have a pair of imaginary roots. What this means is it's also possible for us to have 2 fewer than 3 real roots, or 1 real root. If we did have 1 real positive root, that would mean we must have 2 imaginary to go with it. If we had 3 real roots instead, we would have no imaginary. Now to find the negative real roots. To find the negative real roots, we'll do the sign chart process again, but this time we will change the sign on any odd powers. We'll keep the even powers the same and change the odd. So 2x to the third becomes negative 2x to the third, but negative 9x squared stays negative 9x squared. Then 12x becomes negative 12x, because that's an odd power as well, and the negative 9 is not affected because there is no x next to it. This means if we examine our signs of our coefficients, all of our signs are negative. This means we have no change. Because we have no sign changes, that means we do not have any negative real roots. So no matter what happens, we won't see any negative real roots at all. Our root configuration has only 2 possibilities. We'll call this possibility A and B. We could have 3 real roots with no negative and no imaginary. Or we could have 1 real root still with no negative or 2 imaginary. Those will be our possibilities. We'll have to do a little bit more work to figure out which one we have, but we'll handle that in future videos.